It's a privilege and pleasure to pay tribute to the life of Rabbi Tanzer in this short presentation. It is a truly extraordinary life, one whose South African chapter started in the early 1960s, when Rabbi Tanzer and Mrs. Tanzer arrived in South Africa as a young couple on a 2-year contract to Yeshiva College. At the time, President John Kennedy was the President of the United States, and Prime Minister Hendrik Verwoerd was the Prime Minister of South Africa. A different time and a different place. The only thing that has stayed the same in these last 60 years is Rabbi Tanzer at Yeshiva College. When he arrived, there was literally nothing here. The South African Jewish community was strong, it was diverse, it was dynamic, it was Zionistic, but what it wasn't was religious. This was a spiritual desert. And Rabbi Tanzer came to build a school that the community really didn't want, saw no necessity in creating and building. And what happened was truly one of the great achievements of any rabbi anywhere in the world. One rabbi, one family, transformed an entire community, a B'al Tshuva movement, the likes of which has never been seen anywhere in the world. Geographically, the entire Jewish community moved here to Rabbi Tanzer. 60 years ago, whatever there was in Yeovil. And then with the collapse of that center of Judaism in the 1980s and 1990s, this became the center of the South African Jewish community. Its heart, its beating heart. And everything that is today in Glen Hazel is a tribute to Rabbi Tanzer, this shul, this community, and this school. Not only did he build what is here, but it was the manner in which he did it. With the utmost dignity, with the utmost friendship, with the utmost calm and wisdom. Generations of lay leaders came and went, but Rabbi Tanzer was always here, the constant, always taking it upon himself, the duty and the obligation to make sure that Yeshiva College survived and flourished. It was my privilege to work with him for the last 2 years as chairman of the Board of Governors. And it never stopped to amaze me that even at his stage of life, how committed he was to this campus. Every fundraising meeting that he would insist on coming, every meeting of the Board of Governors, numerous calls of encouragement, of suggestions. It was his life. It was what he had created. It was his baby, and he had seen it grow into this flourishing community. His loss was a shock and a tragedy for all of us. The void that he's left will never, ever be replaced. But all we can do is continue to build upon the legacy that he created, one of the greatest Torah institutions in the world at the tip of Africa, something no one other than Rabbi Tanzer could have ever achieved. It was an honor and a privilege to know him, to work with him, and to be able to build on what he established so magnificently over 60 years.